Is your attitude sabotaging your success? Well, today we're going to take a cold, hard look at our attitude and our outlook on life and see if quite possibly it could be the thing that's keeping us from getting to the next level in life. But first, did you know that about 10% of your happiness is based on your external world, while the other 90% is based on how you see your world? In other words, your perception. In fact, experts show that your outlook shapes your life more than your life shapes your outlook. And I like to say it like this: it's not about what you look at that matters, it's all about what you choose to see. Now, let me give you an example of someone with a really great attitude. There was an elderly man named George, and he was well into his 80s. Every single morning, he went to St. Christopher Nursing Home to have breakfast with his wife. His wife suffered from Alzheimer's, and she hadn't recognized her husband in over 5 years. And one day, one of the newer nurses pulled George aside and said, "George, you come every day to this home to have breakfast with your wife, even though she no longer knows who you are?" And George just smiled, and he patted that nurse on the hand, and he said this: "She may no longer know who I am, but I still know who she is." Man, talk about a great attitude. Listen, you can't always control what happens to you and around you and the circumstances of life, but you can control your response to what happens to you. The right attitude will find that ray of hope in seemingly the worst of situations. It will find the light in the midst of the darkness, and in the midst of all the bad, it will choose to find something good. You've heard the saying, attitude is everything, and I'm here to tell you, attitude really is everything. Nothing impacts more to the start of your day than the attitude that you bring to each day. So here's my question for you. What is the attitude that you're bringing to each day? See, your day starts with that person that you see in the mirror. And the attitude you start out with each day is what your day more than likely is going to look like. If you start out with a bad attitude, you're probably going to have a bad day. If you start out with a good attitude, that means a good day. If you start out with a great attitude, man, that means a great day. Look at George. He started out with a great attitude. He still had the opportunity to have breakfast with his wife. Every single morning, you're faced with a choice. You have to choose, what kind of attitude am I going to bring to this day? Now, let's just be real. No doubt it's easy to focus on everything that's going wrong, the problems, the challenges, the chaos. The truth is, we have to make the effort to move beyond all of that we're seeing in the present moment and choose to see things differently. Because if we don't, we're going to eventually sabotage our growth and quite possibly even our success. And I like to say it like this: it's not about wishbone, it's about backbone. In other words, you can't just wish for a better attitude, you have to work toward it. So here's a good way to start working toward a better attitude. Ask yourself this: is my attitude and my perception of life keeping me stuck in my circumstances of life? Is my attitude reflective on what I'm experiencing at the present moment? And do I tend to have a negative outlook on life? Let me take it a step further. Here's another great question to ask yourself. Get ready. If your kids took on your attitude, would that be a good thing? Oh man, that's something to think about. Listen, you have to understand that your attitude doesn't just affect you. It impacts those around you. Why? Because who you are is what you produce. Now let me show you how that works. If kids live with a critical and judgmental attitude, they learn to be critical and judgmental. If kids live with negative attitudes, they learn negativity. If kids live with encouragement and praise, they learn confidence and appreciation. If kids live with hope, they learn to give hope to others. Again, who you are is what you're going to produce. Your attitude often determines the atmosphere in your home. Here's the deal. Your attitude determines your direction in life. Now, how does that work in real time? Now, this is very simple, but I just want you to see the process. You can't be negative and expect your life to be positive. Let me say it like this. You can't have a negative attitude and expect your life to be positive. You can't be bitter and expect your life to be sweet. You can't be angry and upset and expect your life to be filled with joy. Or one more, you can't be filled with hatred and expect your life to be filled with love. Remember, your outlook shapes your life more than your life shapes your outlook. Attitude is the deciding factor. I bet right now you can think of people who have a positive outlook on life. They're happy, they seem resilient, they seem like they don't ever let any bad moments determine their day, they walk to the beat of a different drum. Listen, it's not that they don't experience hardships. They just choose not to allow the hardships to ruin their day. Oh, that is so good. It's definitely a mindset and not a feeling. And to that point, your attitude can't be based on your feelings. Lord have mercy. If we'd all be in trouble if we went by what we feel. It all comes down, folks, to a choice. Choosing to be positive, choosing to be grateful, choosing to be happy and joyful and appreciative. See, if you choose those things, you're determining how you're going to live every single day of your life. And I just want to stop and emphasize the importance of making a clear choice, a clear decision every single morning to take on a positive attitude, a positive outlook on life. Being intentional is everything. Why? Because the choices you're making by accident, by not being strategic and intentional, are just as important as the decisions that you're making on purpose. You can't just leave life to chance. You can't let life happen to you. You have to happen to life. You have to be strategic. You have to be intentional. You have to decide how your day is going to run. So how do you take on a healthy, positive attitude and outlook on life? First of all, you have to start listening to what you're saying. Are you constantly talking about all of your problems? Have you developed the habit of magnifying everything that's going wrong in your life? If you identify with that, then here's a simple shift. Stop focusing on everything that's gone wrong and begin to focus on what's going right. Let me tell you something. If you search real hard, you can find something that's going right in your life. Start counting your blessings instead of your burdens. And begin looking for the positive in each day. Even on some days, if we're being real here, you have to look a little bit harder. And stop dwelling on the negative. Why? Because that simply contributes to its power. The bottom line is this, and this is important. Stop feeding the life that you no longer want to live. See, you really do have to make a decision that you're going to stop being miserable and negative and make the decision today to shift your perspective and get motivated to look at things differently. Remember what I said. It's not about wishbone. It's about backbone. Decide you're going to change your outlook on life and you're going to change it today. Now, I know there's somebody listening or watching right now that's thinking, April, I've been this way all my life. I've seen the glass half empty. My parents were negative, and that's what's been ingrained in me. I'm destined to be this way. Or how about this? I've heard this as well before. How can you possibly expect me to have a good attitude and a positive outlook on life when I'm sick and I'm struggling, I'm broken, and bad things are happening all around me? I'm unhappy and life has been so unfair to me. Listen, having a positive attitude and a positive outlook on life doesn't mean you're not experiencing all those things. I know it's real to you and my heart goes out to you. It simply means you're not going to allow life circumstances to steal away from your life any longer. Think about it like this. If you continually magnify the difficulties in your life, it will cause you to sink deeper and deeper into despair. But when you shift your perspective and when you change your outlook and approach life with a sense of gratitude, I promise you things will begin to change for the better. Think of your attitude like this. It's a muscle that needs to be developed and strengthened over time. And it takes time to build a better you, but you can do it. Just begin one day at a time working on your attitude and your outlook. Let me stress this again. Just because you've been a certain way all of your life doesn't mean you can't change. And my challenge to you is this: stop applying an old formula to a new way of living. Don't let a negative attitude sabotage your success. Begin breaking old habits of an unhealthy attitude and start building new ones. Start thinking of the best case scenarios. Start believing in the possibilities. Retrain your mind to a higher way of thinking. And when you do this, I promise you that changing your attitude really will change your life for the better. If you've liked this video, take a look at this one right here. And if you haven't subscribed, I would love for you to do that today. Tell a friend about this video. Why don't you share it with them if you think they could benefit from it? And thanks for watching today. And until next time, I hope you have an amazing day.